It serves no purpose to leave behind a world of chaos and hate. It serves us no purpose to hand the world back riddled with division and lack of compassion for one another. I believe the officer Holley was doing just that. She was serving her duty to ensure that the world was left in a better place than what she received it in. Every day she woke up, laced up her boots, and pinned her badge to her chest. She faithfully ventured out into the unknown to protect the world from the evil parasites that plague the nation. On December the 16th, at approximately 1:35 hours, Officer Holley came face to face with the very evil that she dedicated her life to protecting society from. That evil, unfortunately, left a nation of police officers in sorrow. It left her children in a dark abyss of pain and suffering. It left the nation with a great uncertainty that such evil could harm someone who has dedicated their life to bringing about peace. In the wake of this tragic event, it has left a permanent scar on the nation. But there is hope. I've always said that it is better to remember a person for the good that they do and not the bad that has happened to them. So, in that, we cannot hold on to pain and suffering that has befallen on Officer Holley. Instead, we shall remember her for who she was and the good that she did. Becoming a police officer is no easy task. Besides having to go through vigorous training, officers are tasked with much more. They are tasked with having grit and tenacity to endure long, cold nights. We're standing in the cold right now, folks. Imagine what they do every day. To endure long, cold nights and hot summer days. Along with having grit, they must also have compassion, love, and a fierce desire for peace. Officer Holley was just that. She was peace in our time, and she returned the world to us much better than what it was handed to her. We will continue to hold that line in light of the beautiful sacrifices that she made. It is our duty to continue her mission. So smile, live on, and continue to go on knowing that Officer Holley did exactly what she came to do. She gave us a little bit more hope. She gave us a little bit more love. And she left us with a little bit more light. Her mission is complete. Thank you so much. Peace in our time. And this is from Officer Parker. I am humbled to be able to read his words, his heart, and his very soul. Thank you, Baltimore. And thank you, officers, for all that you do for all of us.
Thank you so much, everybody. Tim, Baker, do you have anybody else you want to close this guy out? All right.
I want to thank Melissa and We Back Blue for coming to Baltimore, she jumped on it as soon as I asked her to come up here when I told her about this tragedy. I want to thank every one of you for coming out. It's a freezing night. The officers know it's cold, and they know we came out to show support even when it's cold and it's dangerous, but we have their backs. So thank all of you for what you've done by being here. Spread the message and stand up for those who stand up for us. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
My hand's freezing. I know you.
Hey.
That was great. I heard it. I was doing it. Oh, okay.
Same thing.
Oh,
I should be able to use it.
Look, you're looking in the wrong direction. You're looking the wrong. I'm over here. You gotta wear a jacket.
I know. Look, I was telling him that. Oh, you made it. Mr. Governor, you made it.
Of course.
You everywhere.
I'm going to be.
He told you
You're the people's governor.
I want to
We know you. You'll always pray. Did you get enough pictures? Share it.
I'm I take multiples. I'm just making she's an agent. And wait a minute.
And I'll definitely interview. Okay. All right.
I'll let you go.
All right. Okay. All right.
Thank you, Tim, for having me. Thank you.
I heard everybody talking. Let me get my
I do.
It's freezing out here.
It's hot chocolate over there.
One is Mark Peak, I think it's the one over there.
No.
You leaving?
You want to do this?
Yeah, I'm getting my you know the bag you can Okay, this is my brother right here. This is Steve. How you doing, Steve? That's my brother.
No, I agree. I got fight you.
When I was traveling, he was talking to me the whole time to make sure I was good. I was safe.
I call her my boss lady.
Listen, we're going to do a $1,000 line.
You don't think you have it?
Zalika, I'm going to just pull it down. And let me pull it down.
You got it right here, hot shot.
And you just tell them who you are. And we're going to be talking about the officer. And you just tell us what you want to tell us about the officer.
And you can ask any questions.
Okay.
Because I do have some information.
So everybody, this is, I'm going to call her Delegate Zalika Bazemore. And she is a huge advocate in our city of Baltimore. So thank you so much, first of all, for all that you do and for your presence in the community. And I just want you to tell us about, we're all saddened by the news of the officer. So just share your sentiments or whatever you like to say about it.
First, this was such a powerful event We Black Blue put on this evening. We Black Blue and Melissa being the founder, Tim Fritz has been working with them diligently all across the nation. And when they just heard about our officer, Keonna Holley, they said we have to support law enforcement in Baltimore City. You know, it's so sad that all of last year throughout our nation, because of George Floyd, so many campaigns started to just hate on all of the nation's law enforcement. And for the life of me, I could not understand it because I said, wow, that's a real dangerous precedence that they're setting to just campaign against our law enforcement. You know, we're going to have in every single industry all over the world where you have a few bad apples. And thank God that through the voices of Black Lives Matter and through the voices of other organizations that were really sincere just about getting justice for the wrong that was done, justice was served. That police officer was found guilty. That set a new precedent. But I would say, let's not actually continue the hatred for our men and women that have done so much for every last one of us. You know, our law enforcement our men and women have a hard job, a difficult job. You know, I was telling my husband one night, I said, you know what? I know I could never do what they do. God has really molded them into a certain type of individual to be able to do what they do on a daily basis. And I thought about Keonna Holley because when I first saw her at around 3 o'clock in the morning and I saw it come across my news flash, I said, wow, Kenny, that looks like the officer that actually found you and brought you back home during the pandemic. Because my husband, 3-time boxing champion, had years of fighting, you know, dealing with early dementia. And look at what our law enforcement do every single day. They're there for all of us. My district, they're always there for me. When I'm going through a struggle, they're there for me. So we have to be there for law enforcement. We can no longer say that some of the acts that's being committed are cowardly acts because it takes a bold person to really think that they could fire on a police officer. So right now, tonight, we're here to make sure that we let Officer Keonna Holley know that she is in our prayers, and I believe God is a miraculous God. I believe that God has always answered my prayer, and with so many praying, I truly believe God will bring her through. So our hearts and our help, our assistance is there for the family and for all of our men and women that serve us daily. We support you. We support you. And we're going to continue to support our law enforcement. Thank you guys for coming in and tuning in.
Thank you so much, Zalika. We appreciate you. We really do. Anybody else want to share anything? Anybody else want to say anything about the officer?
Thank you so much. Did you get my card? You have my info. You have all my info?
I got your email.
Here. I can't even reach my pockets.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We are in prayer for Keonna Holley, who was ambushed a few days ago. Can I'm Lady J. Can I get you to just say a little bit about the officer and who you are?
Sure.
Okay. Go right ahead. You're live.
I'm live? Oh no, look at this hair. Oh,
Go right ahead.
Hi, I'm Melissa Roby. I'm the founder of Wbff. And we are out here today in support of Officer Holley, who was ambushed and brutally attacked. And we want to just show our support for our law enforcement, which is something we've done since last June across the country. We've been to Maryland several times. So, yeah.
We appreciate everything that you're doing. We really do. And thank you for being here because we have a lot of stuff going on in Baltimore. But when it affects one of the officers, we have to come together because they put their life on the line for us. So thank you so much for setting this up.
Do. And you know, the thing about it is that I go nationwide and I talk to officers. You know, these criminals, they're hip to the fact that officers are leaving. That it's a crime spree out there. They can just go do what they want. And the more we treat them terribly, the more things like this that happen, the more people that leave. You know, the worse our communities are going to get. Look at LA; they're going door to door. You don't want that in Baltimore. So whatever we can do to help you guys, and let's bridge that gap between communities and officers. However we can. We're here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right.
Let's keep in touch too.
Let's do it. I'll give you my card.
Okay. All right. Great.
Nice to meet you. I'm good. I'm running for county executive.
Come on over. Did you want to say something about the officer? Thank you so much. Thank you. So tell us your name, who you are.
Hi, I'm Kim Stansberry, and I am running for Baltimore County Executive. And it was my honor to be here tonight as we prayed for Officer Holley and her family. I cannot express the hurt and the heartache that I feel for this officer. It really touched me so. Her children, her family. I cannot imagine the holiday that they are going to go through.
Yeah.
It is so sad what is happening to our police officers. When I heard, I cried. I just can't. But I have so many friends that are police officers.
Yeah.
My nephew is a Baltimore County Sheriff's deputy, and it broke my heart.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for organizations like Wbff Blue.
Right.
They are wonderful, sincere people who want the best for our officers. And our police officers need to know that we stand behind them. And if I ever see an officer in trouble, I will be the first one to help them.
Yes. And thank you so much. Thank you for coming out. Thank you very much.
There's a couple of people rolling around.
So everybody, again, we're here at the Wbff Blue. This is a vigil for Keonna Holley. This is the Baltimore Police Department where we are right now. It's the northeast. It's the northeastern district here in Baltimore City. So we are here in support of Officer Keonna Holley.
Yeah, there's a sidewalk going out to the sidewalk.
This is Officer Keonna Holley, and we are here in support of her tonight. Prayer vigil went on tonight for Officer Keonna Holley. We want to send our prayers up to her, her children. I also understand that she's a grandmother, so we want to let the family know that we are out here supporting her tonight. And again, this is sponsored by Wbff Blue. They travel around the world supporting police officers. It's a great organization. We're going to talk to some more people. We had some officers out here, but I think they went back to work. I'm trying to get Steve. Okay, we're going to talk to another community activist. I want to get you.
Thank you for giving me my hat. I didn't even know that.
Okay, you ready to talk? Let me, I'm just gonna, I'll put it right there so they can see everything. All righty. Everybody, again, we are here at the Northeastern District. We're at the police station here in Baltimore, and we are here because of the officer who was ambushed. Her name is Keonna Holley. And right now we have Mr. Joe Werner, who is running for governor of Maryland, and we're going to get some sentiments from him.
It's first say thank you for everyone that came out. Thank you for keeping Officer Holley in your thoughts and prayers. I mean, it's amazing that so many people have support, but we should be back in the blue. We should be standing with her and her family. Right now, be thinking of her and her family. It must be, at this Christmas time, one of the most tragic things you can go through. How they must be hurting. So keep them in your mind, keep them in your thoughts, keep them in your prayers, and have a Christmas vigil. And again, we're back to blue. Help us back to blue. If we need some laws to help back to blue. So let's keep her first in our prayers. Thank you.
All right. So I wanted to, since you are running for governor, I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions. As you see these things happening and the crime that's going on, the crime rate in Baltimore City, what is it that you feel as though you can do to combat the crime and something like this ever happening again to one of our officers?
Well, one, as governor, I would ask for enhanced sentencing. I would pass laws that if you attack a police officer, your sentence is enhanced. If you shoot at a police officer, you get 15 years. If you hurt or attempt to murder a police officer, you should get life in prison. If you ever do murder a police officer, you should get the death penalty. When you attack a law enforcement officer, you're attacking the basic foundation of society, and you're attacking the legal system itself. If you attack the police and the police don't get supported, there'll be no legal system. So for justice and for a decent, fair society, you need to protect the police. So that's why, as a governor, I'd look for enhanced sentencing, and I would push the local state's attorneys, or I would look at the Attorney General's office to see what we can do to get the criminals that do these things off the streets. One of these two gentlemen already was waiting to stand trial for a gun charge. If you have gun charges, you should be in prison, not on the streets waiting for your trial. So that's what I would do as governor. Enhanced sentencing and more money to help back the police. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Warner. We look forward to hearing more from you as you run your race. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you. I do.
Thank you so much.
I'm glad you're here.
Yes. So let me see. I have to get one more person. We're gonna. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna get Alexandra Levine to come on. She's actually another person. I call her my sister from another mother, y'all. But we've been to some fun events. This is a somber one. But she's always out working. And I don't know, I'm gonna put this on.
If I put it on my purse, does that work?
Yes. First of all, thank you for being out here tonight.
Thank you.
Support. So just tell us a little bit about Wbff, and also we want to get your sentiments on Officer Keonna Holley.
So Wbff was founded by Melissa Roby. It is a nationwide organization. She's the first nationwide organization to do something for the police and memorialize the fallen. I was with her at her first event in DC, and it has grown significantly. And when we heard about Officer Holley, her fatal shooting, and how she's on life support now, we decided to do something in her honor. Regardless if she lived or died, it was very important that we support Officer Holley and any police officer that goes through such a tragedy.
Now, will there be another vigil?
Well, we're going to be doing different vigils throughout the districts in Baltimore City. Earlier today, we were over at where Officer Holley resides in her precinct. We had a vigil for her. We put a candle for her. And now we're over here at the Southeastern District, but we will be going all over the districts. Her family has been notified that we're doing this for her, but we are giving her family time and respect, which is appropriate. But we also gave her family the time if they wanted to come speak today. But we just want to say we need to stand for our men and women in uniform, and we must stand for the people that stand up for us. And that's why this is so important.
And one more question, Alexandra. When I heard about it, it was really hurtful, and I couldn't even imagine being in a car and being ambushed from behind, and you not knowing what's going on. What happened with you when you heard about all of this? How did it make you feel?
Oh, it was very sickening and very saddening to me. I was very upset for her. All she was doing her job, and she was ambushed. And it's terrible. And I have friends and family that are in law enforcement. I have an uncle that's a chief of police in Montgomery County for 36 years. And it's very hard when your loved one goes out and you pray to God that they come back alive. And she went out, and she's a mother, and for her mother to get the call that her daughter was shot and now on life support, it is a horrific thing. If a mother does lose a child, it's something that you never ever want to face. And I feel bad for her children too. If God forbid, something happens to her, they remain motherless. But she's got the support of the city. She's got the support of the county. She's got the support of the state. And we here at Wbff, we support her wholeheartedly, and we hope that she comes out of it and that she recovers.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Lady Jan. I try. I try. Thank you so much. Thanks, Lady.
Step over here.
Just want to get your sentiments and tell us a little bit about Wbff Blue.
Okay.
Why you're part of it.
Yes, ma'am.
This is my brother from another mother right here.
That's right. Actually, we might even have the same mother. I don't know. Is this mic? Can you tell if the mic's all good? Okay. So thank you for being here, and we put this event together here. It started with Officer Holley being shot the other day, and my stomach dropped when I heard the news, and it reminded me of the past when Officer Caprio was murdered. And no, we're good. No, you're good. Thanks. Wawa's here, by the way, so give them props. They came out to support this event. So right away when I heard, I called Melissa with Wbff Blue and said, we need the organization to come here to Baltimore. We need to unite the city, and not just the city, but the counties as well, but really in the city where the event happens. So we went to Southern Precinct first today. We lit a candle in honor of Officer Holley, and we're trying to give resources to those officers and their families as well. We came here today at Southeastern to continue to spread the message. We had a large event here, and then we'll continue to go to the other precincts and let those officers know as well. You have resources. You have people in the communities that will stand up for you. You guys have always stood up for us. We're standing up for you, and we need people to police your own communities in a sense by making sure that the people that you hire to protect you are safe as well. So we have that movement growing, and I think the tide has turned, and it's this anti-cop movement is gone. It's going away. When I was a kid, if you shot a cop, that was capital punishment. Now, who knows what's going to happen? But we need to deter people from even, cops need to be protected. And it's not just the cop. Even if you hate a certain cop, for whatever reason, they have a family. And they have brothers and sisters, and they're a part of a community. They don't deserve any of this. Nobody does, but we got to protect our brothers and sisters in blue.
So thank you so much for all that you're doing, because you're always at Wbff Blue. So thank you so much for what you're doing and supporting the officers and letting them know that there are people out here who support them every single day. And just let them know if you have something going on. And I'll be there.
Oh, I will.
Okay.
And thank you for everything you do.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Uh-huh.
All right. So guys, listen. Today is a good day. A lot of times when we get together, a lot of times when we get together, all of us when we get together, a lot of times when we're together, we normally are having fun, we're having a good time, we're laughing. Tonight is a somber night. We're out here on Eastern Avenue, we're at the police Southeastern Police District that we're at right now. It is a somber moment because the holidays are here, and normally children would be getting ready for Christmas. They're getting ready to celebrate. I think I just lost my microphone. There we go. Let me start over. But I was saying, I'm sorry everyone, I lost my microphone for a second. But I was saying that this is a somber moment because normally children around this time, they're with their parents, they're waiting for Christmas, they're excited, they're celebrating. Unfortunately, Officer Holley's children will not have her home this coming Saturday for Christmas. And so we want to keep the children. She also has grandchildren. We want to keep all of them in prayer. We want to send our support out to the family. They're probably down at the hospital. She is still in critical condition. For those of you who don't live in the city of Baltimore, because I know we have a lot of people who don't. For those of you who don't live in the city, Officer Keonna Holley was actually doing her job one night. She was actually in an area that she normally doesn't work in, and her car was ambushed from behind. and she is now on life support. The two people who actually ambushed her car from behind have been caught. They also have been involved in another shooting that particular day. So this happened last Thursday. We're almost into another week of this tragic thing that's happened to her. So we just want to keep Officer Keonna Holley in our prayers. Pray for her children, pray for her grandchildren, pray for her mother. I can't imagine being a mother and my daughter son has been ambushed. So we want to make sure that we continue to support Wbff. I know there's a lot going on about defund the police, but at the end of the day, the police officers are the ones who are out here putting their life on the line for us every single day, at nighttime when we're sleeping. They're the ones that's out here doing the work. And I have a lot of officers who are friends. And all they have, everybody, is a protection for their chest, and they have a gun. But there's so much going on in our city right now, and I'm just praying for our city. And I'm praying that God will continue to protect our police officers. As I stand on the step, I hope that we don't have to have this conversation anymore about any officers being ambushed. Officer Keonna Holley is only 39 years old. So we want to pray for her. We want to pray that God will give her the strength, that he will bless her body so that she's able to make it through this and that she's able to come back. And it's going to be a long road ahead for her because of what she's gone through. But we want to ask the community to continue to lift her up in prayers and continue to keep our officers and our city of Baltimore in your prayers as well. My name is Lady J. It's cold out here, but it's okay because, like someone said, the officers come out in the cold every day, so we can stand it for a few minutes. But thank you so much for watching. Please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to this video. Make sure you get it out there and let the officers know that we back blue. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody. Did you want to say?
I think there's like a little 3-minute story about my uncle.
Oh, sure. Let me, we're going to, Mr. Joe Werner wanted to come back, so of course, we're going to put the mic on you, let you come back up here. You can close us out.
You know, I hope you don't mind. I'm Joe Werner, and I want to tell a story. It's just a brief 3-minute story about police. And, you know, when you think about Officer Holley or when you think about other police officers, a lot of times we think of them as just an officer, not a person. I was 17 years old. I had many uncles and cousins that later became police. My uncle, Bobby Werner, who used to joke around, he was my union representative. And I'm driving down the tunnel, the old tunnel, Harbor Tunnel. My uncle at that point was like lieutenant on the police department, the transportation police at the tunnel. So anyway, I was 17, and every time I saw a police officer, I just think, oh, it's a police, or it's a cop. Look at that cop, got someone pulled over. Isn't that something? But here I come, driving up the road, driving down the tunnel road, and I see a cop, got someone pulled over on the side. The first thing I think of is, oh, look, it's a cop pulled someone over. I get within maybe 30 foot. The police officer leaves the car and starts heading back to the patrol car, and boom, there it is, my Uncle Bobby Werner. So the next thing I know, oh, it's Uncle Bobby, and I'm waving at him, and he's waving and smiling at me. Well, up until that point, I was just thinking, oh, look at that police officer pulled someone over. All of a sudden, he became my Uncle Bobby. So from then on, every time I see a police officer, first thing I think of is that's someone's Uncle Bobby. And so when you think about Officer Holley and all the other officers out there, think about her and her family. That's people like us. They got families just like us. So remember, they need help just like us. That could be someone's Uncle Bobby. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Werner. Thank you so much. And again, everybody have a great night. We're going to close out with you just remembering who this beautiful lady is. This is Keonna Holley, Officer Keonna Holley. We want to keep her in our prayers. And we pray for a speedy recovery for this beautiful young woman. Everybody have a great night. Take care. If I don't talk to you again, have a great and a blessed holiday.